I'm News 19 meteorologist Dana Wilson. As of right now, we are still tracking Tropical Storm Chantal. Our latest update was at 8 a.m. and the storm is located currently 80 miles of Wilmington, North Carolina at speeds of 40 miles per hour. For us here in South Carolina, that's about 70 miles of Charleston. Still moving at some very high speeds of 70 miles per hour, northwestward at 8 miles per hour. However, the storm track does show that it's still remaining a tropical storm, but by this afternoon, expected to diminish into a tropical depression before continuing to move actually northward towards Virginia in the upper part of North Carolina, pretty much the central part into Virginia. Now for our tropical weather headlines, what you mostly need to know is that this storm could produce some heavy rain and some breezy winds, and flooding could be possible near coastal areas and also near rivers, creeks, and streams. Those are some of our vulnerable low-lying areas. Very rough, dangerous waves and some rip currents for our coastal areas. 40 miles per hour with those winds as of right now. However, we're expecting those conditions to improve as we head into the later part of this afternoon and evening. We do have this tropical storm that is currently in effect for central, northern, and coastal Horry County, and that's expected to last until this evening. I know a lot of our friends did want to celebrate on the coastal plains, the beaches, for this weekend, this holiday weekend near Myrtle Beach, starting at North Myrtle Beach down to the northern part of the Santee River. Very dangerous, life-threatening rip currents as of right now, so make sure that you're paying attention and talking to the lifeguards that's out there. However, moderate risk for our other beaches along the coast. That has improved, so make sure you're swimming within sight of a lifeguard. Now, we do have this weather impact alert that is in place as of right now through this evening. That this storm could produce some heavy winds and even some rainfall up to an inch. So watch for downed trees and even some flooded areas that could be vulnerable for the eastern parts of the Midlands. Here's a look at our radar. As of right now, the storm has begun to move inland, but mostly affecting this borderline near Wilmington, off the coast of North Carolina, but some of our areas in the PD region as of right now are seeing some effects with some heavy rainfall, and with that heavy rainfall does pose that threat we talked about of some flooding. So as of right now, there is a flood watch that is near the PD area right along that coast where we're seeing the rain currently, and depending how fast that rain does move in, excessive rainfall outlook. The threat of a slight risk, especially as rain begins to pick up. We're talking about 2 to 4 inches in this area that has the slight risk near the PD area, and even as you come towards closer to that coast, even the possibility of some flooded areas. Marginal risk for some other areas, for specifically the Midlands, Bishopville, Sumter, as of right now, and Clarendon County, looking at marginal risk. Current winds that we're seeing. Winds are not too bad in the central parts of the Midlands, and even better as you head towards the west. But for our friends that's in the northeastern parts of the Midlands as of right now, as that storm does continue to spin and move towards the inland part of South Carolina, even head towards Rock Hill, and the rain picks up, we're expecting some gusty winds behind that as well. Our southeast forecast as of right now, specifically for this state, we could see some heavy rain that's expected to move into the area, but then starts to push very north and gives us some relief for rain, mostly here in the Midlands. However, we could see some of those showers and downpours begin to drop down for areas, mostly leaving some clouds for today. So it is looking like we have a gloomy day ahead, but like we talked about, those conditions expected to begin improving. Specifically for the Midlands, Camden, Bishopville, and Sumter is our most concerning parts of the Midlands, where we could see some rainfall, as it is very close to those areas expected. Overnight, though, we'll begin to see some showers move in from Saluda County that will be coming right across the central parts of the Midlands, producing some rainfall that could also bubble up in the afternoon. Here's a look at our 7-day forecast for today. Some scattered storms, mostly in our other areas that are not of the northeast, just like we talked about, Camden, Sumter, and Bishopville. Temperatures today cooler, 85. As we head into tomorrow, though, we have those storms that could bubble up in the afternoon, even a light shower, though, overnight. So if you're one of those folks headed out around 3 a.m. like me, pack your umbrella, and especially as you're headed home from work tomorrow. 96 for our highs, and those temperatures are just going to keep climbing. We're talking about heat indices that could exceed 100 degrees. And temperature-wise, Tuesday, we're very close to it. But as we head into Wednesday, we have another threat of some storms, especially as a sea breeze moves towards the east, posing a threat of some rain and some afternoon storms continuing into the later part of this week, and another rainy weekend is expected ahead.